Welcome to the first video Monday Musing. To start off, I have a few announcements about what's coming up with the Sold Out Ministry. Next Sunday from 6 to 9 p.m. at Byron Bible Camp, we will have our next Journey event, a bonfire and games out at Byron Bible Camp. More on that at the end of the message. And also coming up in November 17th through the 20th, we will have CDYC, our Central District Youth Conference in Rapid City, South Dakota. And we'll have more details coming on that as well. Now, without further ado, here's me with a video message for this week.
Alright, this is actually take 2 of my attempt to try a video blog for our Monday Musing instead of you sitting and reading an email. But I tried just doing this and it turned out to be 11 minutes long. That seems way too long. I don't think I'll keep you guys here to watching for 11 minutes. So I am just about to pass the church. I'm on my way to Walmart and my goal is to be finished saying what I need to say before I get to Walmart. That's the goal. So we just wrapped up our series BLVD, which is short for Boulevard. A boulevard is a road, usually in a city, and usually it's nice and wide, it looks pretty, it's well taken care of, and we were talking about how can we be a boulevard, a road for people to come to Christ. And as I was thinking about it, the last several weeks, it really boils down to making sure that our relationship with God is going well. I mean, if we're walking in obedience to Christ, and Christ is doing things in us that we didn't, think we could do on our own, and we're excited and in love with Christ and about our relationship with Christ, then we're going to be a light. We're going to be salt. People are going to find that attractive. They're going to see that and want that because Christ is doing something. He's changing us, and I think that's what it boils down to. But we kind of finished off last night looking at Colossians 4, chapter 4, verses 2 to 6. And really, Paul kind of he gives 2 commands in there that I think help us be better boulevards for people that come to Christ. And the first one is he says, continue steadfastly in prayer, being watchful with thanksgiving. And I think we just need to be more committed to praying for people who aren't Christians, and not just praying that they would come to Christ, but praying that God would use us and give us opportunities to share the gospel with them, and to share truth with them, and to share what God has done for us with them, and not just that He's going to bring them to Christ, but to pray steadfastly and being watchful. Like I said, if you're praying for opportunities to share the gospel with somebody, then keep your eyes open. God's probably going to give you an answer to that prayer. He's probably going to say, sure, awesome, yeah, I'll give you an opportunity, so be on the lookout. Keep your eyes open. So that's the first thing we can do. And the second thing is being wise in the way we act towards outsiders. And outsiders kind of being just a term for unbelievers, people who are not Christians. And Paul gives kind of some examples of how we can do that. And the first is to be gracious with, and specifically in our speech, he says to be, as you speak, be gracious, and have your speech be seasoned with salt. And if we do those 2 things, man, we're going to get a long ways with people. People are going to want to hear what we have to say if we're gracious and not harsh or condemning, but gracious, and then seasoned with salt, like those McDonald's fries that we all love so much. We wouldn't like them as much if they didn't have salt on them. So looking for ways to make what we say winsome, not going beyond what the gospel is, but doing our best to say things well, and not sounding stupid and like an idiot about the things that we say, and so doing our best to make our life more like Christ, so that it's attractive to people. So those are the 2 main things we talked about last week to kind of wrap up this series, or we talked about last night to kind of wrap up this series. And then I kind of used the illustration at the end that maybe, hopefully, kind of the goal is maybe at the beginning of this series we kind of looked at our life and we visualize a road that's got potholes in it, and the grass is overgrown on the sides, and maybe the trees are overgrown and just doesn't look very good. But as we work on our relationship with God and doing some of these things we've talked about in the last 3 weeks, maybe that road starts to smooth out a little bit. Some of those potholes are filled in and smooth, and the grass is starting to get cut on the side, and the trees are starting to get trimmed up to make that road just more easily, just a better road for people to come. And it's not a stumbling block. It's not making it harder for people to come to Christ, you know. And so that's our goal, is to make our life and make sure our relationship with Jesus is doing well enough and doing good that despite circumstances don't determine how well our relationship with God is going. But in the midst of whatever we're going through, that we're joyful and we're excited about what God is doing in our life, and that's going to be attractive, and we're going to be a good boulevard for people. And so that's our main goal. And then we're coming up on next week. We won't have regular sold out, and it's going to be an opportunity for your teens to invite their unsaved friends to our next Journey event, which is going to be held next Sunday at Byron Bible Camp from 6 to 9 p.m. We're going to have a bonfire and some games and do some fun stuff out there. And so it's an opportunity. That's kind of the reason we've been doing Journey, is we're looking to build momentum to local youth groups and provide kids with these opportunities to invite their friends to something that's maybe not as intimate and nerve-wracking as coming to, you know, a small youth group on a Wednesday night. So that's the opportunity next Sunday from 6 to 9 p.m. out at Byron Bible Camp. If your teen needs a ride, let us know. And then not that far around the corner, I mean, it's almost October, November is on its way. Before we know it, CDYC is going to be here. Central District Youth Conference, November 17th through the 20th in Rapid City, South Dakota. More details coming soon. We will be leaving that Thursday morning, coming back on Sunday afternoon, and we are excited about that and what's going to happen there, and the opportunity that we have to just go and get away and be together as a group and just enjoy and get into God's Word and hopefully strengthen our relationship with Christ. So hope that helps. Like I said, we're trying this video blog, Monday Musing thing, whatever you want to call it out. If you like it, let me know, and we'll keep doing it that way. If not, I'll go back to a regular email and writing something so you can figure out how to read it. So thanks. Have a great week.